Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Star Wars Galaxy of Yeti, and we're just going to do a little video on killing the Hounds Tooth because I know some people in my GP level really struggle with it. And this guy Alex, who slipped into #1, he has a Hounds Tooth. I'm not sure if it's going to deploy, so we're going to give it a whirl and see if it comes out. It's like this is just from my fleet shard here. Alright, so we're going to start off by trying to stun his crew. There we go. And now we can lay in some offense. Perfect. We want to get that onto TIE Fighter so we can get his evasion down, because he's breached now. And let's see here. We're just going to get some ability blocks, and we don't have to worry about feeding turn meter to his capital ship. With that open, okay. So he got his up. So let's just go for the advantage. Try to see if we can target lock. Perfect. And there's his Hound's Tooth. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just switch over to the Hound's Tooth and we're going to get rid of him. And we're going to put the target lock up. We're going to hit him with Cruise Bomb. There we go. That went a little bit smoother. Normally I lay buff immunity with TIE Fighter and then lay some more dots on, or clear extra protection up with Vader. So this went really, really well. Let's just go ahead and throw buff immunity there. Didn't hit, but now his other tank's gone, so we're good there. Whilst we've got that breach, we got to get rid of TIE Fighter. There he goes. And get some turn meter and offense up. And now we're going to go ahead and blast here. And there it is. So his Hound's Tooth only has about 110,000 health and protection, so we could blast through it really easily with our crew after we got that advantage up. Let me just get to my card here, because I've been waiting to have both #1s for a long time. There we go. All right. So now let's go ahead and try to bring up some other ships that are going to be really helpful in taking down a Hound's Tooth. Wedge Antilles here with his special attack that ignores armor when it's got the Omega, and he also will lay healing immunity and buff immunity for 3 turns, which can't be resisted. And that's going to be great because you can drop that on Hound's Tooth and then you can just knock the crap out of him essentially. So that's a really useful ship in getting rid of it. The other one's going to be Cassian's U-Wing over here. I got to start working on this ship because I'll have the Falcon soon. Whoops, that's not what we're looking for. This is deal special damage to target and call ally to assist. This is a really fantastic one when you've got your Han's Millennium Falcon fleet going, because you can just call in the Falcon and pretty much kiss whatever you target goodbye. Until you're facing other Falcons, essentially, you can just drop this on the Hound's Tooth. If you look here, his level 3 is going to be dispel all buffs on all enemies. So you get offense down, defense down, and dispels all buffs. So these can't be evaded or resisted on the defense down. So you put that there, you call assist, and you blast the Tooth. It's a pretty sound strategy. The other one we're looking for is, oddly enough, the Ebon Hawk has some great abilities. I think this one is this one's great. This is perfect for dealing with for the Hound's Tooth. Deal physical damage to target enemy, dispel all buffs on them. And then obviously as chaff is on more, you get more damage, but just getting rid of those that extra protection up and getting is really, really important when dealing with the Hound's Tooth. And of course when you look in, dispels all buffs on all enemies, and it gives chaff for all the target locks. So this is and evasion down too, which obviously is nice. So once again, this is a really great ship when trying to deal with the Hound's Tooth. And another one we're going to look at is, there's 2 in Galactic Republic that I find work really, really well. You've got Ahsoka Tano's Jedi Starfighter here. Once again, dispels all buffs, and basically you get the cooldown reset every time a new ship comes in, so that can be really useful. And then of course she dispels all buff on an enemy, and that can be really good too if there's a bunch of protection up in terms of clearing that. So you can clear that, and you can lay some hits on the Hound's Tooth, and then the next round, once Hound's Tooth starts getting protection up again, you can dispel all that protection up and just go right after its health again. So you can usually get it out pretty quickly with Ahsoka Tano's Jedi Starfighter. And if you want to pair it up with Anakin's, I mean, that's definitely good as well. You get some nice exposes when he comes in, so that's good. And then where is it? Yeah, here it is. Deal physical damage to all enemies, inflict healing immunity and buff immunity for 2 turns. That's a great attack for getting rid of Hound's Tooth, the healing and buff immunities. Once again, it's like the trend. You got to go after his buffs, you got to go after his protection up, and then you got to try to lay in as much damage into him quickly as possible. And I think that's really kind of the best way to go about knocking a Hound's Tooth down. I'm sure there are others. I mean, you can just pour pure damage in. And of course, you know, when you want to really get into destroying buffs and putting damage, I mean, you look at Han's Millennium Falcon, you look at the basic, and yeah, if the capital ship, allied capital ship is rebel, dispel all buffs on target enemy. I mean, this is just almost unfair. It just waves Hound's Tooth right away. But yeah, of course, it's Han's Millennium Falcon's best ship in the game as we currently sit. So it's one of those where of course it's not really, Hound's Tooth isn't going to be a worry when you get there. But anyway, I feel like those are the best options. And early game, if you get something like Ahsoka Tano, who's really accessible, you'll have an avenue for getting rid of a Hound's Tooth. So if you look at her ship, I mean, you can get the ship shards in the Galactic War store. See here, and so you can really do it up really quickly. In fact, I need to get this one to 5 so I can do my next thing there. Next challenge up to get 6-star Akbar. Why am I bouncing all over the place? And then yeah, then we're gonna go back to characters. We're gonna look at Ahsoka Tano, and as you can see, she's available in the Cantina store, so you can get her all of her shards really easily, really quickly. So we go find right here in the Cantina Battle store. So I think that's a really good avenue to do it. Obviously, my preferred, because I'm running the Empire team, is to bring in Vader as my first reinforcement, lay those dots down, and then I can lay the target lock on Hound's Tooth. And on a lesser Hound's Tooth, usually just getting the buff immunity here from the special attack is going to do everything I need it to do. And if it's a really strong Hound's Tooth, like G12, double Zeta, then basically what I'll need to do after that is I'm going to have to use this Dispel the Buffs and Remove Turn Meter, so I get enough time before the Hound's Tooth cleanses that buff immunity where I can blast it out of the sky. So this is kind of the way to do it if you're going to run a Tarkin ship, I feel. It's also, like I said, it's really easy to have like a backup plan in your bag of tricks, essentially, coming off the bench, which is why I've been working on Wedge so much. I'm planning to have him take my the slot I have for Phantom 2 in my fleet, just so I can lay down those buffs and then ignore armor and really give the Hound's Tooth a blasting if I somehow manage to lose my TIE fighter pilot, an Imp TIE fighter, before I can take out their Hound's Tooth. So anyway, this is just a quick video. If you like the video, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to do as much content as I can think of. If there's anything you want me to talk about or do a video on, just put it in the comments down below. Have a good day.